Dave with the Crafted Channel here. I started my channel out more or less as a bushcrafting channel. But remember, I like bushcrafters because bushcrafters are makers. They produce things and they respect things that are made. And I plan on making a lot of things. I'm really looking forward to making my own bushcraft knife at some point in the future. And a lot of these machining videos that I'm doing are all towards building that capacity to make my own little personal knife shop. But more than that, I want to be able to make anything that I want. I want to expand my horizons and my possibilities as far as I possibly can. So if you've been disappointed with my channel, I understand. Maybe some of this stuff is a little bit boring, but to me it's exciting, and it's really about what I want to do more than anything else. Now I'm getting ready to embark on an adventure. I've been thinking about the concept of can you get home. My work is by footpath probably 20 miles or farther away from my home, and I've wanted to go on an adventure of actually walking home from work. And I've taken it, I've taken a crazy hair once in a while to go on a long walk. I walked from Tipp City to Vandalia to get my wife's car at the auto repair place one weekend just because I wanted to. I got my pack, I made a lunch on the way, made a walking stick, wore myself out pretty good, but I had a good time. And there's something life-affirming about doing something like that that's hard, or testing yourself and finding out how far you can go. I've started a walk to Troy, from Tipp City to Troy a couple of times on the bikeway, and once I got interrupted by rain, and I don't remember what happened the other time, but I haven't been able to complete that mission yet. That's I think a 14 or 15 mile walk. This walk home from work is substantially longer than that, and I'm going to really take my time. It's going to be 1 or 2 overnights. Google Maps says that I can make this walk in about 7.5 hours, and I presume that's by walking bike paths and footpaths and sidewalks and such. Well, this walk is, I'm not trying to do a survivalist walk, although there might be some elements of that to this walk. I'm not trying to do a get-home bag demonstration, although there might be some elements to that. But I'm packing my pack for this purpose, and this isn't my get-home bag or anything of that nature. I haven't made one of those. But I'm going to try to incorporate what I think are interesting, or what is interesting to me anyways, and I hope those things are interesting to other people. I'm going to incorporate some bushcrafting, some get home or prepper type stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm going too far to say that, but some of my walk is going to be urban, just because I can't bushwhack it all the way home. There's just some places where there aren't woods. I live in a distant suburb to Dayton, Ohio, and I can do a lot of this in the woods, but I can't do it all in the woods. So some of my walk is going to be through a neighborhood, but it's going to start out in some areas I'm not allowed to be in. Some property that supposedly I, as a citizen of America, own, but it's no trespassing because the government owns it, and only the government employees get to use it and walk around on it because, well, if we were there, well, we would probably hurt ourselves or something. I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning is. There's no one there to constantly supervise to write tickets, I suppose. Since they're not there to predate on you at all times, then they don't want you there. So, and even one of these places I'm going to be is even marked on a map as a park, but obviously, it's all closed. It's got trespassing signs around it. So some of this walk I'm going to do from the perspective of, possibly a get-home scenario, in that I'm going to enter a period where I don't want to be seen for some number of miles, and I'm going to try to preserve that and not be seen. And I'll be stealth camping this all the way. I've got enough, I'm going to carry enough food for about 2.5 days. I don't think I can walk 20 miles in a day. I don't think I'm in physically good enough condition to do that, and my feet are going to suffer. And my long walks that I've taken before, my feet have suffered. So I'm probably going to do this with 2 overnights, with the idea of leaving work early on Friday, maybe noon to 2 o'clock, and getting home Sunday morning. My wife and I go to breakfast every Sunday morning. It's kind of a tradition, so I don't want to blow that. So I'll probably have 2 overnights in this. Now, if I make a lot of progress, I may only have 1 overnight, but I'll be stealth camping it all the way. And what's interesting is I've been involved in the bushcraft community, and I've had a really good time. But when I was a kid, I was a Boy Scout. I owned campers, boats. I've been camping and boating and spent weeks on the water at a time. A lot of experience like that, but I don't have any experience doing that stuff alone. I mean, I've had my camper out alone before, but I've never been on a wild camp or a stealth camp or anything like that by myself that was overnight. So I'm going to crack that nut and get that behind me. I wish I'd done things like this when I was a kid. I had the opportunity to do them, but I never did. So mostly what this walk's about is just proving to me that I can do it. I just want to find out if I can do it and how hard it is to do. And when you do things that are hard or physically challenging or mentally challenging, whatever, it's life affirming. When you get done, you might be tired, you might be wore out, but damn it, you can do it. You can do something difficult. And not everybody knows they can do these things. And a lot of people, they don't care. You might not care, but it's something that I'm interested in doing. I hope I haven't bored you too much with this talk. I was going to start this last week, but I want to do a couple of river crossings, and we've had a lot of rain up here, and the rivers are pretty high. And I don't want to do anything, since I'm by myself, I don't want to do anything that's really dangerous. I definitely want to include the river crossings in the videos, so I want to make sure that I can pull those off in a couple of places. One of these places that I'm going is, I don't know, maybe a 60 or 70 acre island that's all closed down, and the river splits and goes around this island. And it used to be, we used to call it the land between the bridges. And there was a road called Rip Rap Road, and you would cross over the river and then drive across this island a long ways and then back over the river onto Rip Rap Road. Well, they've since made a connector so that you don't have to get on the island. There was someone who lived on the island. I don't know how they got rid of them. There was a dog kennel on the island. They was able to get them knocked out of there. So now, it's just something that the city owns. And they don't do anything with it. It just sits there. Now, this floods periodically. It's floodplain land. So it would be perfect for some kind of park, really. I really don't know why it hasn't been open to the public. I would like to see it made into a bushcraft park. And I may at some point pursue that. But I'll talk about that later. Maybe on our walk I'll talk about what I think a bushcraft park could be and how it would be maintained. I'm not a big government guy, so I'm really more interested in what we as people can do and provide for ourselves. It's part of being self-sufficient. It's part of that I can do it attitude. Not having to run to Papa Government all the time for everything. So I hope I haven't rambled on too long here, and I hope you join me on my series of videos. I don't know how many videos it'll be. I hope to have maybe a couple of hours of video from this. Maybe I'll have more than that. I don't know. I don't know how interesting it'll be to other people, but it'll be interesting to me, and I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to do it. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it.